Hello from HouseIQ. As we talk electrical, I want you to pick up on the safety features to look for. GFI outlets, shielded wiring outdoors or in garages, electrical panels with no holes, and watch out for aluminum wiring.
Let's review some electrical terms. In neighborhoods with overhead wiring, electrical power comes into the house at the service head or weather head or mast head. From there it goes to the electric meter and load distribution center. That's the service panel, the fuse panel, the breaker panel, same thing. 30 amp fuse panels were common before 1950. 60 amp fuse panels were common before 1965. 100 amp breaker panels are considered adequate now for medium-sized houses with up to 3 major appliances. Larger homes with more electric appliances need larger panels. Figure that you could need a 15 or 20 amp circuit for every 600 square feet of living space, with a dedicated circuit for each type of permanently installed appliance such as air conditioner, garbage disposal, electric baseboard heater, for example. A thick, heavy wire goes from the panel down literally into the ground. That's the grounding rod. There are instances where houses will have a main panel with a large circuit breaker that sends power to a smaller sub-panel down the line, like for pool equipment or large room addition. There are different types of outlets or receptacles. There's the polarized receptacle. This is the kind you may be used to seeing. One slot is taller than the other and you can plug something in just one way. It's polarized. The hole at the bottom is for a third wire, the ground wire. You might still run into some outlets that don't have ground wire. Older homes, by and large, were not wired with a ground wire, and it does no good to install a 3-prong outlet if it's not connected to the ground for the house. If you're considering an older house, have an electrician look into it. There are GFCI outlets. GFCI stands for Ground Fault Circuit Interrupter. It's an added safety measure. You will find these outlets outdoors or in kitchens or bathrooms where it's possible to come in contact with water. There are different styles of switches. There's the toggle switch. There's the rocker switch. They both do the same thing, turn things on and off. And there are different kinds of switches. You will often find a light fixture in a hallway that is controlled by a switch at either end. These are 3-way switches. They're not the same as a typical switch. They have more terminals and require more wires to do what they do. There are 4-way switches as well, 3 switches that control a light fixture. Now, you can't replace a 3-way switch or a 4-way switch with a regular switch and have it work the same. There are dimmer switches. They let you control the brightness of the light. Again, different styles, but still they do the same thing. And there are motion sensor switches. These control outdoor security lights. There are photocell switches. These turn security light fixtures on at dusk and off at dawn. A photocell switch turns things on and off based on the amount of available light. The sensor will come on later if it's a sunny evening, earlier if it's cloudy. And the sensor can be fooled into turning off if some other light source floods the sensor with light. So check the area where the sensor is installed. Make sure the sensor in fact reads daylight. And more, you will see motion sensors such as these used to control lights in, say, bathrooms where it's easy to forget to turn out the lights. Let's talk about light fixtures. Incandescent bulbs can get quite hot. You don't want an unprotected bulb in a closet where it could come in contact with flammable items that might be sitting on shelves. Fixtures in damp locations, such as showers, should have a lens to keep the water from splashing into the fixture. Fixtures in damp locations, such as outdoors, should have covers over the lamps. Wire has different purposes. Green or bare wire is used for ground. White is neutral. The hot side is black, red, purple, blue, yellow, a whole bunch of different colors. The color may not mean much. It just helps the electrician tell one wire from another when he's wiring the house. The wire comes in different forms. you will find 2 or 3 wires together in a non-metallic jacket. Or, because of the location, such as a garage or other utility area, the wires may need to be protected from the weather or possible damage. So they might be run inside of a conduit or some other metal casing of some sort. Each type and size has its own fittings. Wire nuts are used to connect the wires to each other. There are electrical boxes, plastic or metal, for both indoor and outdoor use. You connect fittings to the metal boxes by removing one of these round punched areas called knockouts. Things happen in electrical boxes. Wires connect to light fixtures, wires connect to other wires, or switches or receptacles. The wire runs all the way from one box to another. No splices, no breaks between boxes. If there is a splice, it should be in a box and it should be accessible. Aluminum was used for electrical wiring during the second half of the 1960s. Somewhere around 2 million houses were wired with it. There were problems. If you are considering a house wired with aluminum wiring, I strongly recommend that you have a licensed electrician check over the entire electrical system. Okay, you can tell a lot by simply looking at things, and that's all we're going to do. We're just going to look at stuff. You don't need to touch anything. Let's start with the service panel. Some fuses are round and screw into sockets. Some fuses are little cylinders and they fit into clips. Circuit breakers look like little toggle switches. Both fuses and circuit breakers are there for your safety. Electrical wire comes in different sizes and can safely carry only so much electrical current. So the fuses and breakers are also sized to let only that much current go through. So open the panel door and do nothing more than just look inside. Answer these questions. First, is it a fuse panel or a breaker panel? 2, how many fuses or breakers are there? There are numbers on the fuses and breakers, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, for example. Write down how many there are of each. The fuse or breaker may be so old that you can't read the number anymore. Leave it. Don't touch anything. 3, do you see any wires? This could be a real safety issue. Close the panel door and let's talk for a minute about what you saw. 1, fuses versus breakers. Yes, breakers do go bad, but if they trip, you just reset them. If a fuse blows, you have to replace it with a new one. They're not that expensive, but if you don't happen to have a replacement fuse, it can be annoying, especially if it's late at night and the circuit powers the refrigerator. Never try to use a larger fuse than the circuit can support. If a 15 amp fuse blows, replace it with a new 15 amp fuse. 2, lighting circuits are generally 15 amp circuits. In older homes, outlet circuits too can be just 15 amps. In newer houses, outlet circuits are usually 20 amp circuits. The larger circuits, 30, 40, 50 amps, are usually 240 volts and power the major electric appliances such as air conditioning condensers, electric oven ranges, that sort of thing. We use more electricity today than ever before, and it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon. The house you're looking at may have all the circuits you need, but if it's an older dwelling with maybe just 4 circuits for the entire house, you may have some adjustments to make. 3, again, if you looked inside the panel and saw any wires, this could be a real safety concern. It may be because some part of the panel or its cover is missing. If it's a breaker panel, it could be because it's missing a knockout, a removable section of the panel where a breaker is supposed to go. If you saw something like this, the panel is old and you should think seriously about having it updated sooner rather than later.
I've got a lot more great stuff for you at houseiq.information. If you like what you've seen so far, do me a favor and tap the subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. and click the link to watch some more great stuff right now.